For today's Super Bowl party recipes, game day food, or just party recipes in general, we are going to be making 11 dishes. I am showing you all of them on the screen right now. I will also include timestamps down below, so if you just want to skip to a particular recipe here, it will be very easy for you to do that. I've included a wide variety of recipes for you to choose from. Of course, we have dips, appetizers, and desserts, but I've also thrown in a couple crock-pot recipes, some easy oven-baked ribs, and a dump-and-go taco soup. Come with me, let's go. I will also include down below in the description box all of these recipes. This first one is a crock-pot street corn dip with cream cheese, a bunch of cans of corn, fresh garlic, tons of cheese, sour cream, and I love to throw in this tequila lime seasoning along with a bunch of fresh cilantro. Get that going in your crock pot, cook it for a couple hours on high, and my friends, this is to die for. Serve it up with chips, and there you have it. If you're looking for something a little more impressive, a little more high-end, try these garlic butter steak bites. I cut up a bunch of New York strip steaks into cubes, season them up with salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne pepper, paprika, you know the deal. Get them all tossed up in the seasoning, and then I added in some soy sauce and a little bit of oil. Get those fried up, and for the sauce, it's super simple. You just combine butter, a bunch of fresh garlic, some honey, and a bunch of fresh parsley. Get that all combined together, heat it on really low heat, and after a couple minutes, you are ready to toss it all together with the steak bites. This is a very impressive little appetizer to serve. I also make this as a dinner and serve it alongside jasmine rice and a little cucumber and tomato salad. Another alternative is you can do steak bites and fries. My family really loves that as well. Give this one a try. You guys are going to love it. These are so good. Okay, next up, we have these 2-ingredient crescent roll dogs. Simply open a can of Pillsbury crescent rolls, take your favorite hot dog or smoked sausages and cut them in half, and then roll them up into the crescent rolls. Bake at 375 for about 10 minutes or until nice and golden brown. If you want to ramp them up a notch, take some garlic butter, which would be 2 more ingredients I realize. Give them a quick toss in the garlic butter. Friends, these disappeared. They were disappearing before I could even do this part in the garlic butter. So good, so easy, so delicious. This is a super easy dip for game day or for Super Bowl Sunday. If you are having a party or going to a party, this is the perfect dip, super easy appetizer. You just need 1 block of cream cheese. This is only 3 ingredients, which is what is so amazing about this recipe. 1 block of cream cheese, spread that out in an 8x8 pan, add in a jar of your favorite salsa, spread that evenly over the cream cheese, and then top it with an 8-ounce bag of sharp cheddar cheese. How easy and simple is this? It's so delicious. Pop it into a 350-degree oven for about 12 minutes or until all the cheese is melted. When it is finished, you can just top it with something green. You could use green onion, cilantro, jalapeno, or a combination of any of those ingredients. Basically just something green to top it with, and then serve that up with tortilla chips. You could also use this to dip veggies in. It's so good, my friends. Give this a try. Bring it to a party. Serve it for the Super Bowl. This is a great appetizer game day dip. You guys are going to love it. Next, we have the chicken pot pie biscuit cups. I started out by making a really simple filling, which I will include the recipe down below. It's really easy. And then I just take these biscuit grands. You can use a rolling pin, but I just use my hands to flatten them out and shape them into my muffin tins. Throw the filling in. Close up the cups a little bit. At the end there, I tried making them into little cute flower shapes, but you could do whatever you like. Throw them in the oven at 375 for about 12 minutes. And there you have it, the perfect handheld game day food. This is a wonderful, savory appetizer. Now it's time to throw in a couple desserts to satisfy that sweet tooth. First, we have this Oreo dump cake. This is a really popular recipe, and it's so easy, so delicious. You take a bunch of Oreo cookies, crunch them all up. I started with my hands and then went in with a knife because you really want to create some Oreo dust. Anyway, you need a box of vanilla pudding and a box of chocolate cake mix. Get that all combined along with some milk. And then you're going to fold in half of the cookies into the batter. And that is your cake batter. You're going to bake that and then just let it cool completely. And then once it is cool to the touch, you are going to go over this with a bunch of Cool Whip. You'll see here in a second that my Cool Whip container is the large container. That is just what I had on hand. You don't need that much. But you're just going to spread the Cool Whip on top to your desired thickness, I would say. And then you are going to take the other half of those cookies along with the Oreo dust, and that is going to be the topping for this cake. Oh my goodness, my friends, this is absolutely delicious, and it's super easy. You make this cake up, throw it in the refrigerator, and you can bring it to a party or serve it yourself. For our second dessert, we are making these epic Cinnabon muffins. I'm just following the directions on the back of the box, so it is a no-brainer. And here are the ingredients you will need: eggs, butter, oil, and water. And if you buy this box mix and you are a little confused about the directions on the back of this box, I have a separate video on just this recipe. I will link it down below. Anyway, if you love Cinnabon, cinnamon rolls, or cinnamon muffins, you are going to love this recipe. It has a streusel crumble top, which I absolutely love. I love the icing. I love everything about these Cinnabon muffins. And they make for perfect game day food, Super Bowl party, or just any kind of party that calls for a sweet treat that's super fun. Give this one a try. I think you guys are going to love it. And you might want to set one aside so that you can have one the next morning. It goes great with a cup of coffee. Okay, guys, this is my favorite white chicken chili recipe and probably my favorite crock-pot recipe of all time. I've made this for several Sunday football games this season, and it is a huge hit in my family. You start out with 3 chicken breasts. If you only have 2, that's okay as well. I've also done it with only 2 chicken breasts, ideally 3. And then you're going to add in a can of green enchilada sauce and a little bit of water. I thought this green sauce was so weird, but now I understand. 2 cans of chilies. I used 1 hot and 1 mild. 2 cans of Great Northern beans. These are just white beans, along with 2 cups of corn, whatever kind of corn you like and have on hand. And then you're going to use a bunch of Tex-Mex seasonings, salt and pepper, onion powder, you know the deal. 2 cups of chicken broth. I like Kettle and Fire chicken bone broth. After about 6 hours or so, I take out the chicken, pull it apart with a couple of forks, get it all shredded up and back into the pot. And the last thing you are going to add is a block of softened cream cheese. Get that really well combined, let it melt in, add some fresh cilantro, serve this up with tortilla chips, sour cream, and a hit of lime. Oh my goodness, so good. This next recipe is taco soup. It's super popular, and it's also perfect for game day or for when you're having a party because you can make it ahead of time, and also there's no mess. Start out by browning up a pound of ground beef and then adding in these ingredients: black beans, pinto beans, Great Northern beans, which are white beans, rotel, tomatoes, and tomato sauce. Add in some corn and some beef stock, a packet of taco seasoning mix, a packet of ranch dressing. Get that all stirred together, cover it, and simmer it. That is it. You are done. Serve this up with tortilla chips and sour cream and cheese. This is wonderful and one of my most popular recipes. But let me give credit where credit is due. This recipe comes from one of my fellow YouTubers called Come Sit at My Table. These oven-baked ribs are super easy and probably my favorite rib recipe of all time. I really love the rub that I came up with. And again, that will be included with all of the recipes down below rather than trying to list every ingredient I'm throwing in here. But to start, I use equal parts vinegar, oil, and Maggi and get my ribs all coated in that. Let it sit for a little bit while I make up the rub. And then I get every surface area of the ribs coated with this wonderful rub seasoning. I get it covered, bake it low and slow, that's the key. And then at the end, you take the cover off, throw on your favorite barbecue sauce, bake it for a little bit more, and there you have it. These are so tender, fall apart, fall off the bone, delicious. This is a perfect game day food, Super Bowl party food for your meat lovers. And finally, the last recipe, number 11, is our skillet corn dip. I start out with some bacon fat, add in corn. You want the corn to be rinsed and really dry so that you can kind of fry it up a little bit, maybe even get a little char to it. Then you're just going to throw in some sour cream, some pico de gallo or salsa, some queso fresco, a bunch of shredded cheese, a little bit of chicken broth, cream cheese, and you're just going to get this all really well combined and melted together. Chop up some jalapeno and some fresh cilantro and throw that in. After it gets nice and heated up, you're going to top that with some more cheese. Use cheddar, Colby Jack, whatever you like. And of course, you got to finish this off with some fresh lime juice. Serve this up with chips. It's cheesy, creamy. It's got a little bit of heat from that jalapeno and that burst of freshness from the corn. It's a perfect game day dip. I just want to say thanks so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me in the kitchen today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up, share it with friends and family who you think might enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel. It's free, and I can't wait to see you next time.